Welcome to Humble Brags. We're excited to be back. Today's episode is sponsored by Clearer.io, and Clearer is a one-stop shop e-com suite. So thank you very much to Clearer for sponsoring. We have one of their amazing customers here with us today, Wendy and Tom from Okanui. Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. We are super excited to dive into your brand story and find out everything about you guys. We haven't heard you speak a lot.
No.
You know, we haven't heard you on the speaker circuit. So I feel like this is such a treat for our...
Yeah, we're little quiet achievers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, we were just talking about how you were one of the first brands in Australia on the Shopify platform. Like, how great is that?
Yeah,
Obviously,
pretty special.
Clearer.io is such a key marquee customer. So I'm pumped to understand and learn a little bit more about your story.
Let's get into it. Let's start with just introducing yourselves. And I know, Wendy, you're going to go into Okanui, but let's just start with introducing yourselves and your roles at Okanui.
After you.
I'm Tom Marshall. I'm the marketing manager at Okanui. Been there for closing in on 3 years, and never looked back since I started there. So
Love that.
That's a lovely answer. And so I'm Wendy Casparvich, co-owner with my husband Simon, and we have been proud owners for over 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty special.
That is special.
Long time.
I read that Okanui was founded in 1978. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
That is crazy. And
Yeah.
that was your uncle.
It was my uncle Dick. Super proud of him, actually. Like, it's a huge achievement to know that there is a small family business still around after all this time. So, yeah, pretty impressive with his work, and so proud to be able to continue it on and keep Okanui alive.
Maybe let's start there, just around the Okanui story,
Yep.
how you started, where you're at now, because I think that is like obviously such a special story to be telling. So let's start there.
Yeah, it is a really special story, and I am proud to tell it. My uncle started way back by making pairs of Okanui board shorts off his mum, my grandma's sewing machine, down in Avalon on the northern beaches for his mates for surfing to prevent rashing up on the boards, and like, to think that we're still here telling the story from that is pretty special.
Yeah, unbelievable. So 1978.
Yep.
I still just I almost have to
Yeah.
say that, because it's to have it start so long ago and to obviously started by your uncle. You've taken over the business to see the evolution of where you were versus where you are now. Like, how did that unfold?
Well, it's something that I wanted to be a part of for a very long time. It was a very special experience every Christmas, receiving a pair from our uncle or the cousins. And it's nostalgic. Like, the feeling to me it's special. Like, I love talking about it every day as if it was the very first day, and it's, all these years later. So, it's something that I've always wanted, and to get this far and to be a part of it is an amazing experience.
Yeah. So 13 years ago,
Yep.
you took over.
Sorry,
you took
yep.
the reins.
Yep. It was
because
back room by myself in the back room of our house with 2 young ones and one on the way. So that's pretty amazing in itself. And then Simon, my husband, jumped on board with me, and with four warehouses later, having to grow bigger and bigger each time and expand. And it's, what are we, 10 stores? So back then we were
stores.
1 store. We opened Noosa, 1 store. Now 14 years later, to have 10 stores is pretty phenomenal.
Because 14 years ago, like, e-com was so new and so nascent, and so you've almost been through the not war wounds, but you've been through so many evolutions of what e-com is and looks like.
Yeah.
How have you grown with that wave, for want of a better word?
Yeah, well, at the start, our original website, like, we had to create something that we could control from the back end as well, because it was growing very fast. Like, we were growing very fast. So that was a very important part for us, to be involved with someone that we could have the ability to control things from our side, rather than having someone constantly add things. How do you put it for the website?
Yeah, I mean, I think with e-com, it's a pretty wild space. You need to it's not what it was a month ago and it's not what it was 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
It continues to evolve, and you need to kind of keep alive on your feet, because if you sit still, you're going to fall behind the cohort that you're kind of against. So, I mean, I could probably speak on behalf of you and Simon and say that, 12 years ago, there was a website running that would have looked a hell of a lot different to today.
It was so
I bet.
different.
Yeah,
I bet.
And the tech suite behind that, as things come out and evolve over those years, we continue to try and adopt early and be the best at it. And that's kind of where we've really kind of started to shift in the last few years.
Mm-hmm. How do you sort of balance that innovation and evolving with the times, but also sticking to your core values of the business?
I think we kind of, as a business, really stick to kind of a key set of values. One of those is putting the customer first. Everything we do as a business has to kind of revolve around the customer. If we're not doing that, we lose kind of that historic value we've earned over since 1978. So that's one of them. I think our quality in products is another thing that we kind of cherish quite strongly. Everything we do and make is built around kind of high quality and making sure it's the best we can possibly produce.
100%.
And I think that's kind of where we've evolved and really kind of started just, I guess, aligning our business to those kind of key values. And then, that's kind of how we've
staying true to the hibiscus.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all those beautiful, amazing original prints that Okanui is here because of that. We keep all of that as our core range, and then we bring in seasonal ranges throughout the year, which keeps it alive as well. So obviously most of the designs are based off the hibiscus and, the feeling of escaping the everyday, which we stick by daily, and have a big belief that it is how you feel when you put on the pair of shorts or shirt, jumper, whatever it happens to be, but staying true to that original authentic hibiscus and core values.
There's certainly a lot of hibiscus floating around at the moment, so we're pretty happy that kind of, that was our original footprint and we continue that legacy.
Was that, I'm going to assume that was, a core print that your uncle started way back in 1978. I'm still not going to get over it.
Sure was.
And did that just come from his love of surfing and I'm assuming being in nature and being within that?
Yeah, it is.
space?
He's got a huge love of the islands, Polynesian islands, and there's definitely you can see the vibe through all of his old images that it's definitely coming from a love of the ocean.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of tradition in your roots and in your core, and you've really kept to that as you've grown. How have you, balanced the technology side? Because it's almost like you've been able to utilize and leverage technology to bring that core part of your brand to life.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that it's a bit of a constant battle. When we say that we rely on those core values we have, technology's equally got to be part of that. The technology we adopt has to put the customer first and make sure that the customer's getting what they want, and the technology puts the products first. And by implementing that technology and constantly evolving it, we're able to continue to deliver on them. From things like, when we release a range of 50, 60 different things, the one that starts selling, we want to get more of them quickly so that the customer can get them. And it's purely because, we want to give the customer what they want.
Yeah.
I think,
It's funny that you say about technology too, and this is like the flip side of the technology, but technology with fabrics is also something that we have to keep up to date with. So we originally started with printing on cotton drill shorts, and we still do that to this day. But in order for us to continually sell more shorts, we evolved with technology, and we print on the four-way stretch fabrics or the two-way stretch fabrics or anything that are now more water resistant, so people can enjoy them as more of a evolving lifestyle brand rather than just a cotton drill shorts that take 6 hours to dry and you can't sit on the lounge as a little kid because you're wet for 6 hours. So technology in both, the e-com side of things and the business side of things, but also the fabrics and the development of the product, which is cool.
We've also got about 80% of our women's swimwear made of reprieve fabric, which is
great.
made from recycled bottles. So,
Yeah, so
that was certainly
sustainability
not
front
something
and
you could
centre.
do 45 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we often talk about innovation from a technology lens, but we forget that particularly for retailers, actually there's so many different parts of your value chain that
so
you
many.
can inject innovation in the way in which you're thinking differently. And fabric is a big part of that. I feel as though
huge part.
even, within the last 5 years, there's been so many updates and shifts in terms of the ways in which we think about particularly sustainability when it comes to fabrics. But obviously things like prints, wouldn't have ever thought of that.
Yeah, it's really about, as you said, putting the customer first. So you're having to evolve your product as well. So to maintain that. I think with technology too, obviously you guys are omni-channel, and I know that physical retail stores are a big part of your strategy, which adds complexity to technology too. How do you sort of manage that? What is your physical retail store strategy? How do you connect all of that with your technology as well?
Yeah, I mean, the shout out there goes to Shopify. I think we've been on Shopify Plus for I think 5 or so, a number of years, but I think elevated to the Plus element of it kind of 5 years ago or something. And being able to have Shopify POS link in with Shopify Online, it makes it really easy to kind of analyze data and make sure that, again, the stores are getting the same experience that someone is online. It is a constant battle. It's not easy trying to manage, especially from a marketing point of view, trying to give the customer what they want in store as well as online, because they are different channels, they're different customers. But yeah, I mean, Shopify does make it really easy. There's leverages, there's levers we can use to make sure that kind of the people in store are getting the same experiences online.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think particularly bringing in Clearer.io, and we will go into more depth around their product suite. But when you've got such a well integrated product set with Shopify, which also means that, whether you're looking at reviews or loyalty or whatever it might be, it's not just touching online, it's also touching in store automatically. So when you're thinking about it from a data perspective and bringing that all in and understanding your customer and where they're shopping, how they're shopping, having those two products so well integrated makes it, I'm sure, your life a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Clearer.io itself has kind of developed a lot in the last few years. We adopted them for our reviews platform maybe 5 years ago or so. And since every time they release a new product, we're pretty quick to adopt it because we know how kind of good that technology is for both in-store and online. And linking that in Shopify makes it so easy to just pick up and adopt and see results really quickly as well. So, yeah.
What other products of Clearer do you guys use now?
So we're using reviews.io, Boost, and we're kind of in the infant stages of setting up influence.io as well.
Okay, cool. And in terms of the product suite, what have been some of, I guess, the game changers within them that you've seen to help you grow your marketing strategies and grow the business?
I think Boost was probably the one we saw really quick and exciting results from.
Can you explain a little bit what Boost does?
Yeah, of course. So Boost is I don't know how to best explain it, but it's effectively a widget you can put on your Shopify store, which allows you to. We use it mostly for recommending products. So we've got a number of different strategies on how those products are recommended. So it's simple things like if you're looking at a bikini top, you're recommended the bikini bottom. But we've adopted some of their AI technologies as well to kind of really push people or help people make that decision on an outfit, especially some of the men's stuff. I know as a male shopper myself.
They need help.
We need help. Yeah. So we're looking at a pair of shorts we like. Well, I don't know what top goes with that. So that AI technology kind of helps those people make those decisions. And in result, as a business, that's kind of helped that average order value really grow. And it's been really exciting to use. The team are awesome to work with. We've done a few custom, developments within the platform outside of the kind of out of the box offering they give, and that's certainly allowed us to kind of leverage our own little strategy around it as well.
That's also becomes a win-win, right? Because we're always thinking of customer and helping them. So that does help them, and obviously it's helping us, but that does help them to have somebody guide them in what they should be purchasing, what's going to look good on them, or at least match an outfit gives them an extra little
And
bit of guidance.
Yeah.
there's also so much in Boost we haven't touched yet, which is potentially on the roadmap for the next 24 months or so. There's they've got predictive bundles, and you can really start to kind of help people make decisions around what they want to buy and what they need. So that's exciting as well.
Yeah. You mentioned before how, you've almost customized what that looks like, particularly for your brand. Are you able to go into, a few strategies that you've implemented that leverage some of that product suite? Because I think that would be interesting to touch on too, if you're okay with it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's nothing crazy out of the box. It's funny with some of those technologies is that the out of the box is great, but there's still so much you want to do and can do. And it is simple things that just might not have come out of the box. So, for example, we've got some strategies around, some of our sale items, non-sale items, and how a customer shops with them. They might buy, if a customer's looking at a sale page, then they might only want to look at the sale page because that's the only type of kind of purchase they want to make. And then you've got kind of, some of our other customers who like our new stuff, so we want to show them the new stuff. And we want to exclude things from recommendations as well.
Yep.
And you kind of leverage on other aspects of your marketing strategy as well. We offer free shipping on orders over $150. So we want to help people to get to that threshold. They might be sitting on $145 and we recommend them a sticker so that they can actually save $5 off their order and get free shipping. So yeah, it's those sort of things that we've kind of played around with a little bit.
Yeah.
I think retention is really interesting, and obviously you guys being a long-standing brand, I can imagine you'd be quite good at retention. How are there any sort of key strategies using Clearer or any general marketing strategies that you found super successful in retaining customers and keeping them loyal?
Yeah, I do. I think the best advice around retention I can give is understanding your customer. It's really, really difficult because when you've got, hundreds of thousands of people in your database, you need to, understand each of those different person's needs and wants, and the tricky thing is it's not easy to group them together and say that 25% of your database does this and 25% of your database does that. It's actually almost like this person does this person does that, this person wants that. So everyone is so different. And so it's like, it's one of those things that is continuously going to be a challenge for any business. But, I think when you start to get quite granular with understanding who your customer is, which customer wants what, and when they're ready to buy and want to buy, I think that's kind of the best advice I can give around retention. We've certainly got a number of kind of strategies around that, but that's really the core of it.
It also changes because in the past it was mostly women buying for the family, like for even their husbands or partners or friends, whatever, but it was women buying for men, whereas that would have been hard to determine those sort of categories as well, right? Whereas now it's become a lot of the men are actually purchasing for themselves.
Yeah, right.
So,
and that's you kind of touch on a good point, because 10 years ago, 5 years ago, we could have probably segmented our database into 25, 25, 25, 25, but now it's really kind of got to a level where we are offering so many products for so many people, all kind of grouped, among our vision statement of people who like to escape the everyday. But there's always going to be a different time for a different person to purchase, and with the kind of wide range of product offerings now, you really start to get quite granular with how you're talking to people.
With your stores and the customer journey, do you find that they are two different journeys, or have you delved into your customer journey at all to see that, some people might go in store but then purchase online, or they'll look in line and then go in store and purchase?
good question.
I know it's hard.
It's kind of a $1 question.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. I think we're certainly getting to that point. I think last year we only had 5 stores and we've doubled in size in our retail footprint to 10. So that's something we're still learning as a business, definitely. But in saying that, people do what they want. I think everyone's different. I might look online and go into a store today, but tomorrow I might go into a store and go online, and then the next day I might just walk into a store and get a T-shirt. So,
how do you choose what stores to open?
That's
a
an
good
easy one.
just for 1 second. The other thing is just prior, it's interesting because we're in tourist-driven areas as well. So it's kind of an answering both at the same time there. But to know which order people are coming in, a lot of the time in the tourist-driven areas, they're walking into the stores and they might not have ever heard of us before.
Yeah.
Then they're going online. So if it wasn't for those stores, online wouldn't be doing what it's doing. And if it wasn't for online for the locals and for the, people born and bred into Okanui, then they wouldn't be then walking into the store. Vice versa. But where we choose to go is sometimes a bit of a no-brainer for the ones that we've done. I feel like they're like it's just the feel of who we are. And like Noosa, if I could replicate 1,000 Noosas, oh my gosh, that would be a different story, because people go to Noosa and they automatically think of Okanui. We've been there forever.
Yeah.
So that feeling of like Melbourne people go up to Noosa a few times a year for some of them, and to grab the warmth and that relaxed vibe. But I think
this is probably like the favorite part of my job. If you actually rattle off our locations to the stores, it'll make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
And WA's next, because I feel like that in itself is just we ship a lot to Perth and Western Australia, and it's like, to me it's a no-brainer just to plonk ourselves there and give them what they want at the moment, which would be nice.
So we're in Manly, Bondi, Port Douglas, Darwin, Sorrento, Byron Bay, Noosa, Gold Coast.
Yeah.
So
by the beach.
By the beach.
By the beach.
It's funny how you describe it. I start at the top of Australia and sort of go bang, 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 just so I can get the memory of which stores where. My eyes were doing this around the map of Australia then.
You're probably like reading off a marketing list or something.
Yeah.
But they're very
so
they're very
true.
desirable holiday destinations, which is how we kind of have positioned our brand for 47 years. So
hence escaping the everyday, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that is aligned with your brand values. Do you look at the data? Like, I mean, I know you just mentioned there how you're shipping a lot to Western Australia, which would indicate that there is a prime market that wants potentially that touch and feel and through a store. I'd assume you'd have a lot of, over the years,
we
given
do have
how
a
long
lot of
you've been
data.
open.
The other thing is making sure that everything's right before we make the next step again, because Western Australia is not down the road. So it's a whole new thing in itself. And, we've got to make sure that everything we're doing right, everything we're doing now is right, and then do the next step. Otherwise, we're sort of chasing our tail. So, yes, although Perth and Western Australia is a great place to go, then, obviously we'll check the data and make sure everything is ready before we do. But, to answer your question, there's a lot of data going on. The boys are very good like that. And not just the boys, the girls, everyone is onto it. I'm not a data girl. I just nod and smile when they talk. So
love it. I think going back to your partnership with Clearer as well, I think obviously there's so many different technologies that you could choose. E-commerce is, it's a very saturated market. And I think it says something that, you really value your partnership. Obviously you're speaking for them today, which is awesome. So for any brands who are listening and they're trying to decide how to choose the right technology partner, what to look for, and anything that you've really valued working with Clearer, what advice could you give?
I mean, the easy answer would be to get on a call with Clearer and chat to them about your needs and wants and go from there. I think we've been in an interesting position where we did start with reviews.io, then Clearer kind of took over reviews and all of a sudden came out with a whole suite of things. So, a lot of what we're doing now with Clearer.io, we had, 5-10 different companies and technologies that we're working with. We've started to kind of consolidate all them under Clearer, and it's been really easy to work with, because when you're dealing with that many softwares and technologies, that means you're dealing with that many people to talk to when you need something. I've got, luckily, Jake, my buddy at Clearer, to help me out whenever I need. But I think soon as, it was interesting when Clearer did take over reviews, they came out with their Boost product offering, or they kind of enhanced that product offering. And right at that time, we were looking for something like that. We had trialed a couple of different technologies prior to that were kind of just too complicated for what we kind of had in our resources to manage. Some of the stuff Boost does, technologies offer for 4 times the price, and you need someone in your team managing it pretty much all day, every day. With Boost, we've been able to adopt that really quickly when we needed it, and be able to activate it and see really great results straight away. So
yeah, having the support behind the scenes, like you're saying that you've got Jake there, like you can't do this sort of thing and have this much technology involved and relying on it so heavily when you don't have the support there. And they offer a huge amount of support, so it's a huge importance.
It makes such a big difference.
Absolutely.
Especially local support. Some tech companies have offshore and whatnot, but I also find it super exciting when there's a technology that you love that come out with a new product that's also perfect for you. It's just like,
You're like,
that's music to my ears.
I was about to say, would love your
when I get a phone call or an email saying, "Would you like to be a part of our beta?" I start
like,
dancing
yes.
in my chair.
I'm the same. I get it. Marketing nerds. I totally get it. Awesome. Well, I think we'll start to wrap up with a few questions. Obviously, we have a lot of founders that listen to our podcast as well as e-commerce professionals. So I would love to hear from you both. Looking back at the entire business journey, what has been one pivotal moment within your careers with Okanui that you think have made the biggest impact or change?
You can go first if you like. I'm going to think about this one.
Cool. For me, again, it's a tricky thing because and speaking on behalf of kind of the 3 years I've been there, it's never been one moment. Every day you're constantly kind of giving 1% of attention here and 1% of growth every day. And as I kind of said at the start, you've really got to stay on your feet and alive the whole time. If you start to sit down and kind of sit back and try and watch things go, they're not going to go. You need to constantly evolve. And AI is taking a pretty crazy turn at the moment. That's something we've certainly started kind of investigating and looking into, because we know that in 12 months from now, the e-commerce landscape is going to look completely different to what it is today. So for me, it's the 1%ers. I think, as a marketing manager, I kind of manage the email marketing, the social media, paid social, then e-commerce as well. So pretty hectic load. But if you give everything kind of 1% of attention and just try and improve things every day, that's kind of where we've seen the growth. And I mean, I know you would agree, kind of where we are today hasn't come overnight. It has been incremental growth. There has been a couple of turning points that have helped, but it's just, my advice is just to stay on your feet and keep learning.
Yeah.
It is hectic that you manage all of that within marketing. But it's also really nice and special because you're involved in every single touch point, and I feel like that would make the experience a lot more unified because you can see what's going on and you don't have to, some people butt heads brand versus marketing versus e-com.
Yeah.
That's quite nice as well.
It is nice.
100%. I think it's interesting when I talk to people who are like, oh yeah, I just do email marketing. I'm like, well, how do you link that with social media, and how do you link that with what you're trying to do on e-commerce? And it's like, well, it's a lot of meetings. I was like, well, okay. I kind of like just doing it all myself.
Yeah, I get it.
We like that too, Tom.
Yeah.
I feel like looking back on it, it's quite a hard question to answer because there's so many areas. But I think just taking the risk and backing yourself has been the moment that, if I was to look back, there are a few significant points that it was like, should we or shouldn't we? No, we're this far in, let's go. And then back it. Then again, pause, year later, month later, week later, whatever it is. Are we ready? Yep, let's do it. Let's go. We're backing ourselves. And it's all in. Like you can't just go, oh yeah, let's open another store and, oh, there's the store and see how it goes. It's not. It's all in. And it is one big family in there. It is everyone in. Isn't it? You can see when something's due or something's about to happen. It's just it's like the most loving, caring environment of people wanting to back something they really care about. Yep. So yes, there are moments, but as long as you back yourself and stick to the plan and the end goal, then with support like this and as Tom touched on, like putting it all together, makes it a nice little road ahead.
Has it always paid off, or have there been moments where you've gone all in and it hasn't worked?
Yeah, there's bound to be. I can't think of
Yeah.
them off the top of my head, but there's bound to be. Like, COVID wasn't nice, so it was all in before COVID. Like, we were, there was, like, I remember watching my husband, and it was so sad to think he's like, I've put everything into this, like every single bit. There's no like taking the kids to school or doing those. He missed out on so much, and then when COVID hits, and it's just like devastating. So yes, there's been moments, but no, it was just heads down, bum up, straight up, straight head bum. What?
Heads down,
Yeah.
bums up.
Let's go. We got this. Yeah.
And that, I think, I head up the marketing for a furniture brand, and it's a family-run business. It reminds me a lot of what you're talking about. It was an uncle that founded it, and now the
wow.
niece is involved, and there's
wow.
lots of family members in it, and it's beautiful.
I
Been
love
around
that.
for 10 years. B2C Furniture, it's
Yeah,
called.
great.
And I think what I sort of resonate is that you guys sort of, it's like that the family value. Like if we're
100%.
doing something, we're all on this journey
Yeah.
together. We're passionate
Yeah.
about it. It's in our
Yeah.
DNA,
Absolutely.
and that really makes a difference.
We have a
yeah.
big family first in the office.
Yeah.
Like, and it's known, it's felt, it's appreciated, it's not taken for granted. It's just, it's solid.
Yeah.
It's a really good feeling. Hey, that's really cool that they've got the same.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's so nice,
Yeah.
and it makes people stay because they
Yeah.
really do feel like they're part of the
100%.
family.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Trap up. What's your one brag-worthy moment?
Brag-worthy. Ooh.
Something you've maybe for you, it's like something you've done that's really like.
Oh, I thought it was like, I was taking it as a personal moment. I own Okanui. Like,
As a
That's a
business?
great brag-worthy
can I
moment.
just like stop?
Yeah,
Thanks for having
that's
me.
it.
100%. I'll take that.
Comedy, good one.
Yeah.
Classics. I'm sorry, I can't
Yeah.
go past.
I think
Classics.
We
Comedy.
have no
yeah.
idea what you're talking about, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, sorry. So
Okay.
probably
Forgot there's no pictures.
probably some of our products have kind of been brag-worthy. I think,
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk to the company. We launched a knit last year, which has really kind of
I'll help out. A knit is a knitted jumper.
Yeah.
Painting a
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
Thank you.
that really kind of we put a lot of work into our women's program, and that kind of really lifted that and took off the women's program in the right direction. Pretty much went viral on TikTok and Instagram for a hot minute, and for 18 months we just couldn't get enough in to sell. So there are a few arguments in the office about where it is and why it's not back in stock, but we're all back on track with that, and it continues to just keep running. So
And I love the fact
exciting.
that this particular jumper is based off one hibiscus, white hibiscus on a navy jumper, which is original.
Wow.
So that's so cool. And to me, that says so much,
Yeah.
so much. And women are walking around proudly with just one awesome hibiscus on their chest.
Yep.
Which is,
So nice.
That's a very brag-worthy moment.
Yeah.
yeah, I think so. And that's a huge team effort there. Like it's massive.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to leave with one last question as well. We actually have conversation cards that we're about to release. We haven't announced it yet, but this is one of the sort of questions on the conversation cards. We'll send you a pack once they've been done. For people listening who maybe had not heard of Okanui and they're going to go and look it up now and get engaged with the brand because we're telling them to. What I guess for you, it's a family legacy. It's as well. What do you want someone to feel when they engage with Okanui and when they become a customer of Okanui? What's one thing that you want them to take away from the brand?
I want them to feel that they're a part of it, a part of us as a collective crew, family, in-house. I want them to feel like they are escaping the everyday. It's not just a comment that we write on a piece of paper. We actually genuinely feel it. We want people to feel the nostalgic feeling of if they're putting it back on for the first time since they were a kid and they're now an adult, that they feel those feelings, that they stop and smile and go, oh my God, remember when we were, and they have that moment. Because every time I hear people talk about that moment to them, I legitimately feel it myself. I can picture my cousins. I can picture my family. I can picture wherever I am having fun, and that's really important to me. I hope they put on that pair of shorts and they have their moment or they create their moments and create their memories and pass them down to their kids, which happens all the time. So hopefully the stories get told from grandpa or dad or son or now women that are involved in it, and, you know, that feeling can live on. So
Yes, I love that. That's really hard to top.
yeah, good luck, Tom.
It's
What she said.
I'm just doubling down on that. I think it's a really special feeling when you're, particularly something like a holiday, you feel, you know, quite special when you're going on holiday. You don't get many a year. And when you kind of start to think about your holiday and you get your pair of Okanuis or, you know, an Okanui bikini or whatever it is, you get on holiday, you get to the beach, you throw that on, you feel really kind of special. And I know working for Simon and Wendy, you know, we go and leave an escape hour every day as well, and we're encouraged to send photos of us sitting on the beach while everyone's stuck in the office. So, you know, we almost want our customers to do that as well. We'd love to see them on the beach in their Okanuis and escaping there every day. So, yeah.
Well, we're off to Tassie soon by a beach for our founders.
Are we
retreat.
dressing you?
We're going to have to
I
take some
know.
photos with our Okanui
Yes.
and
We'll
send
get
it to
you
yeah.
some gear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
Tassie. I love the thought of Tassie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
I've never been, so I'm pumped.
No, I've never
Yeah.
been.
And to be with 40 other founders, I think it's going to be
Very fun.
so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yes.
Oh, here we go, 40 outfits.
Yeah.
That's Tom.
Tom's like, I only thought you meant you two.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much. It's been such a really nice episode. We loved hearing about your story.
Thank you so much.
All the amazing marketing work that you're doing. It's fantastic. And again, thank you to Cleara for bringing us together.
Yeah,
and
thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us. It's exciting being on our first podcast.
Yeah. Enjoy Tassie.
Thank you.